Anthony Joshua continues with his game of smoke and mirrors, and that's exactly what this video is about. After witnessing an interview given to Sky Sports Media, Anthony Joshua had to mention Deontay Wilder as not being an elite fighter. Pretty bold and brash words from a man who looked to navigate the heavyweight division and avoid Deontay Wilder for the better part of 3.5 years. After initially calling him out, and Deontay answered his call by saying, "I was gonna let the little pup grow and mature, but since he won it, he can get it." As soon as Deontay Wilder responded in the positive, Anthony Joshua and his team looked to go in a different direction. I don't know that they were expecting that type of response from the champ at that time, but ever since then, it's been a game of cat and mouse as we've seen Anthony Joshua play tremendous games, not only hiding behind the skirt of Ed Hearn in Matchroom Boxing, but also hiding behind literal bags of security. When Deontay Wilder offered to come to England to watch an Anthony Joshua fight, Joshua said he didn't want him there and he wanted him barred from the ring. So he didn't want to have to face him in a face down, which usually goes well toward promoting a fight in the future between two combatants. This lack of maturity that the man still shows after now being 30 years old. You see, he won the title, I believe he was 24, 25 years old. And I have mentioned many occasions that he has done nothing to grow in that time. The only thing he did was lose to Andy Ruiz Jr. in a fight where he stepped in as a replacement for Jarrell Big Baby Miller. So Joshua is back on his shtick talking mess about Deontay Wilder. Although Wilder has a serious rubber match bout coming up on the 24th of July with Tyson Fury, I do believe that if he's victorious, he still would seek a battle with Anthony Joshua because Anthony Joshua still holds the rest of the titles in the heavyweight division. But this is the thing. Joshua has to get past Alexander Usyk, the former unified, undisputed cruiserweight champion who has since moved up to heavyweight. He's had 2 fights at heavyweight and has been waiting to see what move Joshua and his camp would make in the positive toward accepting his challenge as being the #1 contender, particularly from the WBO. But also listen to this. Joshua has had plenty of opportunity to step to Deontay Wilder, and there was plenty of opportunity for Deontay Wilder to step to Joshua if Joshua and his team didn't put certain roadblocks in the way. There we mentioned Dillian Whyte, that Wilder said he'd fight Dillian Whyte as long as Joshua's name was attached to the contract, and you know that Deontay would have sought to defeat Whyte with much aggression because he's seeking the fight with Joshua. But that didn't happen. Like the Ed Hearn putting Dillian Whyte out there was just as a buffer. But see, when you hear AJ speak about elite fighters, I don't know who he's considering being a class of elite. If he's considering himself, then definitely Wilder and Fury are in that conversation because those are the only other 2 heavyweights who have had the success in the division that compares anything as much as Joshua. This is the thing also. He's blowing that smoke out there right now, as he once did when Deontay had other fights on his schedule as a distraction. Whenever Deontay Wilder does not have a fight on the horizon, AJ is quiet. Here it is again, he has picked up that mantle of discussing Deontay Wilder and having things to say like, bring it on, I'm ready for either guy, it doesn't matter who wins and all of that, when we know that just a few weeks ago he was totally pissed off because Fury lost the arbitration with Wilder in court while trying to negotiate a deal with Fury, knowing that there was an arbitration taking place. The Joshua camp was really sullen and let down, thinking that they would have a chance to have a fight between the two biggest UK heavyweights of recent era. But also, you have to know that Anthony Joshua had a difficult time against Vladimir Klitschko, where he did pull it out and won a late round victory. However, Tyson Fury defeated Klitschko as well. And the Klitschko that fought Tyson Fury was a Klitschko who had reigned. When he fought Joshua, he was off for 2 years after defeated by Fury. So AJ is full of smoke and mirrors here, people. This man, once again, as Wilder has a fight scheduled already, wants to talk brash and bold. He needs to go ahead and fight Alexander Usyk, who is right there. And even though Usyk is the smaller man, he may have a chance against Joshua, because don't forget, Usyk fought and defeated in the amateurs. He fought Joe Joyce. And Joe Joyce is a stronger man than Joshua. Every bit the same size. And probably has a far better jab. Just ask Danny Dubois. So here we are, once again, playing this stupid game with Anthony Joshua, where he should be focused on other fighters who are right there chomping at the bit to get to one of those belts that he's holding. I have said this more than one occasion, that this man has stalled out the division with what he's done, with lack of activity, lack of improvement, and lack of initiative and gumption to take on serious challenges. He's done nothing but stand pat and hold the titles. But there are heavyweights who are on the cusp, who are coming up. And you got the real big baby, you got Efe Ajagba, you have so much talent that's on the horizon. Philip Hrgovic, Mike Hunter. These men are out there and they're ready for their opportunity. And instead of sitting back talking crap about Deontay Wilder and trying to put him down, Anthony Joshua should be in the gym priming and honing himself, because one of these other fighters, whether it's Usyk or the other names I just mentioned, if they get their opportunity, they're almost in a 50-50 position to become the new heavyweight champion with one of the belts that he has. I expect that as soon one of the serious challenges that comes along, he will begin to vacate belts. It just depends on which sanctioning body he's closest to. Remember, he was ranked as high as number 4 in the WBC. So that was before he won his first belt. I believe that it is just talk. He doesn't want to really fight anyone seriously. That's why he hasn't done much. And if you think that Kubrat Pulev was an impressive victory, I think you should go back and review those tapes. Kubrat Pulev looked like a journeyman who was a man out of time. And I'm talking about AD, because he looks like a caveman in there. And speaking of cavemen, why is it that Anthony Joshua, whether he was coming up as a young prospect or even now presently as the heavyweight champion, never gave Dereck Chisora a shot? I wonder why that is. Dereck Chisora is the type of fighter with the type of temperament that can be intimidating to a guy who is unsteady and uncertain of himself like Anthony Joshua. You also should consider that as well. Why hasn't that taken place? But that's a story for another day. For right now, he's got Usyk problems. I did a video about that. You can go back in the archive and check it out just recently within the past month. Anthony Joshua needs to buckle down and face someone and stop worrying about Deontay Wilder, because he'll be knocking at his door soon as he's finished knocking Tyson Fury's head off. Let me know what you think about this. And let me know what you think about Anthony Joshua's interview with Sky Sports. I'll leave the link for that interview in the description. This is all I have for you at this time. This is Stormy B-Man. Shout out to the LDBC, Lions Den Boxing Community, and Liberated Perspective, a third eye view of the world. For more content like this, please like, subscribe, comment, and share. Until we see each other again, peace.